Bridger Rogers is a sales coach, content creator, and podcast host, blending faith and personal development to offer a unique perspective on success. Known for his motivational content, he explores the intersection of spirituality, discipline, and self-improvement. Bridger uses his experiences to inspire others to achieve their goals while staying grounded in their beliefs, making him a standout voice in the world of personal growth.
What's your purpose? Like, why did God put you here? And it's very easy to find. All you got to do is ask yourself, what's the biggest transformation that you've personally gone through?
The Bible is the first personal development book. Personal development that's like 2,000 years old.
Everything that you are going to build your faith upon comes back to one concept, which is belief. If I went to Europe, partied, dated all these chicks in all these different countries, and I kind of fell away from my faith a little bit. And then I literally heard like an audible voice of God. If you keep living your life the way you're going to live it, here's what your life's going to look like. And then boom, 40,000 images. Like I just started crying.
The phrase, don't be afraid, in the Bible is like 300 times.
Yeah.
And it's such a thing for us humans because that's all we are, especially nowadays.
So I look it up, 9 out of 10 billionaires started in sales. I'm trying to reverse engineer like how to become a billionaire basically, and sales. If you want to earn a top 1% income without going to college for a decade and spending $500,000 on a college degree, then listen up.
You've been following me for a while. That's amazing. And what are you drinking now? What is that? Is that chocolate?
Dude, this is
pure chocolate?
This is a chocolate mocha protein shake.
Oh my God.
It's like 50 grams, dude. Like
50 grams of protein?
Yeah.
How many calories?
Dude, it's probably got a lot, like 800. I'm bulking right now, though.
Oh man, I'm jealous. You know how many calories you do for bulk?
So I have a faster metabolism. I've tested
I hate you.
I need to eat between
Don't need to hear anything
2,800 calories, bro.
Oh,
I can
man.
bulk on like 28 to 3,200, bro.
You know what my bulk is?
What's that?
2,400.
2,400?
That's my bulk, bro.
Dude, that's like a pizza and a little scrap of chicken.
That's it, man. That's it. My cutting is like 1,800 to 2K.
Is it?
Yeah, and my maintenance is like 2,200.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I'm glad because I'm fucking dying all the time.
You're just like fasting, just doing black coffee over
all
here.
the time, man. But honestly, I feel good. I really found my balance. I feel like with the whole idea of not getting too fat, not getting too lean, and then binging.
Yeah.
So what I do now is like Monday through Friday, I really hit my macros nice around 2,000. And then the weekends, sometimes I hit it if I feel like. Sometimes my girlfriend cooks for me some pasta, but I don't binge. I'm just like, fuck it, I'll have a bowl of cereal. I mean, by a bowl of cereal, I mean a whole carton, like the whole thing. That's one portion, right? It's like what?
The whole box.
Yeah, it's like a whole box and one whole bottle of milk, whole milk.
Whole milk.
Yeah. I eat it in one go.
Dude, where do you live? Because you're all over the place, right?
Yeah. So Paphos, Helsinki.
Oh, really?
Those two. So Paphos is kind of like my main base, and then Helsinki I'm sometimes Austria. But dude, I love the States, man. I haven't been here in 5 years.
It's been 5 years?
Yeah. It's been 5 fucking years, and I'm like, how come I never liked it here? I love this. This is amazing.
What do you like about USA?
Everything's bigger. The cars are sick. You know what? The girls are not as ugly as I remembered. I'm like, you guys got a lot of pretty girls too.
It's true.
I'm not sure if this is, coming from Ukraine that a lot of people came here or something like that. I don't know. I know it's really, really good. And then so we went to Miami first for 2 nights.
Okay.
We had Darren Lee and Lara Acosta on the pot.
I saw Lara, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Really cool. Really,
I saw her
really cool.
stuff pop up my feed. I'm like, who is this?
Same for me. Same. I'm
No
like,
way.
who is this? And then Darren is like, hey, can I bring my friend Lara to the podcast? He sends me her link. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I look at him like, I've been following her. Who the fuck? What the hell? It's really cool when you catch people on the up and rise,
Yeah.
And I have the same feeling about you as well.
Thank
so
you.
when you came to me at Ty's party, and you're like, hey, what's up? Let's do something. I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, yeah, he's got cool vibes, And then, you told me about what you've been doing over the last years and stuff. I checked out your Instagram. What I loved is, your name's Bridgers. Is that
Yeah.
really a name?
It's my name.
I never knew.
It's on my driver's license. Yeah.
Dude, and your whole branding is like bridging the gap. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so cool, man. I love that. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Thanks,
So
bro.
who came up with that?
My dad.
Yeah?
My mom was like, we cannot name our son Bridger. That's not even a name. She's like, it's not a name. We can't name him that. And then my dad's like, no, it's a name. It's actually quite popular in like Utah, Idaho. It's actually like a lot of Mormons name their kids Bridger. I'm not Mormon, but it's just a very popular name. But yeah, my dad, so I grew up like Christian. So my family's like, kind of based in like scripture and stuff. So he's like, I wanted you to be a bridge builder
Oh, yeah.
between people and Jesus. So
And now you are, man.
now I'm bridging the gap.
Fuck. That's so cool. You know what that name reminds me of? Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding. One of my all-time favorite games. Hideo Kojima game. It's a great game. The second one's coming out. Play it.
What's it called again?
Death Stranding.
Okay.
It's literally about what your dad wanted you to do, which is what you're doing now, is about bridging and connecting people. It plays like in a post-apocalypse. Post-apocalyptic America, and you have to reconnect all the cities. And so all you do, yeah.
Bro, that sounds fire.
It's real, and the story is like insane and crazy and lunatic. It's like, bro, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like there was an extinction event that connected the afterlife with the life now. It's a lot about death and like, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to die?
Wow.
Can you come back? And the main guy is Sam Porter Bridges, who is played by the guy from The Walking Dead. I forgot his name.
Oh, no way.
I'm a big fan of his, actually. I forgot his name. It's been a lot of traveling lately. That's why. But you should play it. And it's really cool. It's basically like people who hate it call it a walking simulator because all you do is you deliver packages.
Really?
Yeah, but the story behind it and the vibe. I played it right at the pandemic, and I loved it. It was my pandemic game all day long. I just played all day long, man. I let my business slide so hard. Just played that damn game, man.
I did the same thing, bro. My revenue dropped 50% during the pandemic.
What did you play?
Bro, I got back into Destiny. Did you ever play Destiny?
Oh, I heard of it. I've never played it myself, though.
I no-lifed in high school because it came out in like 2014, and all my grades took a dump, dude. When that game came out, but I made money doing it.
Good.
Yeah, because you could like basically there's guys that'll pay you that suck at the game to pay you per like game, and then as you help them through the game, like you carry them, then they unlock better weapons.
Yeah.
So like I'd get paid $40-50 an hour, like 14 gaming. Yeah.
What?
I made like $2,000 in a couple months with
Dude,
my
that's
buddies.
like the dream, man.
It was the dream, bro.
$40 an hour?
Yeah.
Playing fucking video games?
It was unreal. I showed my mom this. She kept I was like, hey, Mom, can I use your PayPal? She said, what for? I was like, people are sending me money. She's like, for what? She probably thought like I was doing OnlyFans or some shit back then. 14.
Bro, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
So what exactly is it that you do? You're doing sales coaching, helping people become salespeople, but you're also creating a lot of content.
Yep.
I feel like, this is what I feel like, okay? Just looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not even your full focus, your offer. I mean, obviously it is. You obviously give a damn about your clients, but at the same time, I feel like you want to do something more. You want to be someone. That's the feeling that I get. I'm like this. So for example, Cole Gordon, right? A good friend of ours. I'm going to have him on the podcast as well.
Yep.
He's now, funny enough, stuck in LA. We just flew in from LA.
Yeah, it's so funny. Crossed each other.
And what he does is like, he's clearly more about like, this is the offer. Let's do as much branding as necessary, but not more. But for you, I'm like, you're like, okay, I want to have a brand. I want to talk to people. I want to be known, and I have this cool offer. Do I get that right, or what's
That's
your
right. That's like spot on, dude.
No
Yeah,
shit.
you know what's funny? So I was at the Ty Lopez Mastermind.
Yeah.
Cole was supposed to be there too, and then he
That's right. He couldn't make it.
He couldn't make it,
Yeah,
dude.
he missed a flight, and then he had to fly now or something like that.
He flew out. And, so I'm at the Ty Lopez Mastermind, and at the end, he has everyone take his like motivations test. Have you taken that?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you. It's fascinating.
Ooh, send it. Do send it.
So it's like the 4 motivations. You've got money, materialistic things. You've got like movement and freedom, like being able to travel and have freedom. You've got mating.
Women.
Yep.
Right.
Mating,
I remember that. Yeah.
romance, and then you've got mastery and status. And I did it, and he was trying to pair up this one girl who had like very high materialism. She was like basically a gold digger.
Pair up with you or what?
Well, he was just taking people from the audience, and I'm like, I want to see how my profile matches up to this chick.
Okay.
And so mine was 100%, like 100 out of 100, status mastery.
Wow.
And he's like, what the? He's like, I've never met someone with
Wow.
100 status mastery. He's like, dude, you would do well in LA. I'm like, I don't know about that, but I do care about like building a brand, making an impact, like getting my name out there.
Dude, I feel like out of these 4, I'm all of them. I'm like, what do you mean motivation? That's all my motivations. These are every single one of them.
It's a degree though. So like I was 100 on status mastery. I was like 45 on like dating. I was like 55 on like movement and travel.
Yeah.
And then I think I was like 38 on like money materialism.
No shit.
Yeah, so it drives you, but it's like you have a primary, a secondary, and then you have a couple backups. But
I got to do that test.
You got to do it. It's like
Can you
3
write that
minutes.
down? Write it down, people. I'm gonna do that on the way home today. Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
Super interesting. Super interesting. And it's also funny. This is like a recurring theme in my life. Now we're going from chitty chat talk to really weird deep
Let's
in
do
a
it.
second here. So here's what happens. So
Okay.
I never really grew up really into Christianity or God.
Yeah.
In fact, funny enough, my mom and my grandma are Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I never got into that. It was never
Yeah.
like, oh, you have to believe in that. It was like my mom and my grandma goes there. They have these like meetings and stuff like that, like church.
Yeah, the church,
And
yeah.
I would join a couple times, but I was always like, it's just this thing we do. I never really did much with it. And I grew up pretty secular, like very secular. Like, this is it. This is the world, Yeah, maybe there's like a higher spiritual force behind that, right? But like lately, I think over the last 2 years, I've gotten more and more in touch with this whole idea of Christian God. A lot of my best friends are now Christians. They literally, and they used to just, fuck girls, let's go. And they're like, no, man, like, dude, I go to church. It's pretty awesome, And I keep hearing it. I keep getting this idea of like the Bible is the first personal development book. It's like personal development that's like 2,000 fucking years old.
Insane.
Exactly. And then things like, Jordan Peterson interpreting it super deeply. Now, Owen Cook, I believe you know him as well.
Yeah.
Him talk about the Bible, and like his videos really, really fucked my mind with him like reading out the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is what it means. And I'm like, fuck, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's so esoteric what it says word by word in the Bible. I'm like, I don't understand. But like really, when you have someone that can really interpret it really nicely, you're like, damn, that's some good shit.
It's some good shit.
It's not just, it's not just like, oh, let's pray. It's like, that's some good fucking advice,
It's
man.
high level intellectual
Super high level.
philosophy. And when you break it down, it makes total sense. And like, did you know, I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this. I had a guy on my podcast a couple days ago. Do you know Caleb? Have you heard of Caleb Maddox at all? Like
No.
the 16, he's interesting. He's
16 years old?
He was 16 and he made $1 million at 16.
Oh, no shit.
And he went super viral. And then he's like, yeah, he's an interesting cat. So he was saying that when he was studying Rockefeller read Proverbs every day.
Oh,
like that's the only personal development book Rockefeller read. And he was like one of the most wealthy. So that tells you the effectiveness of it, right? Like King Solomon, I think they did the math. Like King Solomon would have been like a multi-trillionaire.
Yeah. Richest person in history or something like that, right? Yeah.
Like multiple times over based on the proportion and like all that. So it's just fascinating.
Where in your belief, where does the Bible come from? So God told us to write it, and then we kept writing it and translating it and so on and so forth. In your opinion, how did that come to be? How much change was there from human input as it got translated over years and years and decades and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so it's interesting. A lot of people, that's a great question because I've talked to a lot of people about this. And the way I see it is like everything that you are going to build your faith upon comes back to one concept, which is belief. Like, do you believe in the God that created the heavens and the earth? And if you did believe in him, that he created it and he's a perfect God, then do you think that he could hand down a message in a book over thousands of years? I believe yes. I think he can keep the text. I think that there's enough power like that God has. So it's like, that's a no-brainer task. If he created everything we see, you don't think he could put his message into a book and keep it preserved? So I'm sure there's people that have twisted it, and that's where you get these like runoffs. Like my grandpa was a Mormon, right? And then he kind of jumped off and like didn't quite agree with that branch, and kind of like eventually found Christianity. My dad became a Christian at 17, and then we've been kind of grounded in that. But it's an interesting concept. So it comes back to belief. I believe God can create the Bible, and so like it says it in 1 Peter that like the Bible is written down by men, but it is Holy Spirit inspired. And so it comes down to your belief about like who is God, which is such a deep topic. And so many people have so many different beliefs in their own experience. And so for me, like I've come to my conclusion, I wasn't actually raised like religious. Like my dad didn't even use religion. He's like, we're not religious. Like,
Interesting.
I'm not raising you in a religious household. I'm raising you in a spiritual.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
Which is sick. And he's like, this is your choice. Here's what I believe. Here's why I believe it. And I would just watch him read the Bible every morning.
Yeah.
Like every morning, my dad was reading the Bible. I'm like, what are you reading? We do these Bible studies.
Sick.
And so I got to see that, and it wasn't forced on me. It was just an option on the table. And I just picked it up, and it just made sense to me. And so for me, it's about relationship over religion, which religion I think is like a set of man-made rules you have to follow. And that's where people like kind of tend to like be repelled. But I think everybody wants relationship with a creator, with a higher power. So that's where I think it's inspired by God and written down by man. And it's one of the only books that over thousands of years, have you seen that graphic? We'll throw it up here on the podcast, but have you seen that graphic where all the references throughout the entire book, over 66 books, you know, however many authors there were, and it refers to things over thousands of years, all the cross references is 65,000.
But sounds insane.
65,000 references over 2,000 years. You're telling me that humans can put this together? Like, there's no way.
One statistic I've seen is like the phrase "don't be afraid" in the Bible is like 300 times or something like that. Can you look up the exact number? And that I'm like, I never read the Bible, but I'm like, that is fucking sick. That it keeps repeating over and over afraid. Don't be fucking afraid. Yeah. And it's such a thing for us humans because that's all we are, especially nowadays.
Fear.
You know, you go on Instagram, you're afraid because there's people doing better than you. There's girls that you will never ever get to date. There's unrealistic beauty standards. There's people faking, you know, and you're just sitting there in your apartment. And no matter where the fuck you are, whether you're in Dubai, looking at this in LA, looking at this in New York, you have a fear of missing out. You have a fear of being afraid of everything. Then you go on the fucking news. War, rockets, missiles, people dying, politics, fear, 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 fear. You go out on the fucking street, fear. Like, it's such a predominant emotion nowadays. And you have to put real effort in to, like, I consider myself a very disciplined person. I consider myself not deep in the trenches with the fear-mongering of the news. I never watch the news. But even I'm like, I easily get fucking afraid. And I feel like it keeps getting worse. And then you have this 2,000-year-old book, or however many thousand years you wanna say it is.
Sure.
And it's just, the fucking one of the most common phrases is do not be afraid. Like, hey, you little monkey without hair, all right? You're stupid little animal that's walking around the earth with your consciousness, with your belief, with your advanced intelligence. Don't be afraid. I know this is some crazy shit. I know you're being thrown into the cosmos. I know you're confused. I know you feel lost. I know you're afraid. Don't be afraid. Right? It's almost like a puppy. And I know you probably disagree on a lot of things. Okay, we humans were more than animals, yada yada. That's totally fine. I agree to it. I agree to not fucking know. But what I'm saying is, like, it's almost like a puppy that gets scared of the noise and it doesn't understand the noise, right? Like whatever, like you drop your keys and the puppy just snaps because it's a loud noise. And he's like, yo, it's just my keys. Okay, do not be afraid.
Yes.
And I love that.
Me too.
I love that about that. And I think a lot of people in difficult times flock towards religion because, like you said, it gives you belief, gives you something to hold on to.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was watching Hunger Games last night.
Oh, sick.
For the first time. I'd never seen it.
Okay, that's
I wasn't
good.
allowed to watch it as a kid because it's too gory.
Oh.
Because it came out when I was like 10 years old. I'm 24.
Yeah, same for my parents. They wouldn't allow me to fucking watch Jurassic Park.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, I love dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Because people get murdered and fucking eaten by animals.
They didn't want to deal with the nightmares. You know?
Yeah. I loved it, man. How old are you?
I'm 24.
Damn, dude. How old were you when you made your first real money, apart from the 2,000 on Destiny?
18.
How much did you make there?
I made 65 grand in 3 months.
Wow.
I bought my BMW cash, enough to move out, and I just said, fuck it. And I loaded my shit up when I was 19, drove down to Scottsdale 5 years ago.
How did you make that 65K?
So do you know Kino Body, Greg Gallagher?
Yeah, you look like him.
Isn't that
Are
funny?
you guys related at all?
You know what? God's funny like that. I don't know. We're not officially related, but everyone thinks.
I'm like, if you would have said you're his cousin, I'm like, yeah.
Everyone, I've even gotten I had a guy approach me in LA on the street. He came up to me and said, "Oh my God, it's Kino Body." I swear to God, he got a photo and posted it and tags Greg. I sent a video to Greg. I'm like, "Yo, Greg, you know what the best part about looking like you is? I get to steal all your fame."
That is fucking funny. Okay, so you worked with Kino Body when you were 18.
Yeah.
You made 65 grand.
That's when I learned about Think and Grow Rich, Law of Attraction. And I literally sat on the edge of my bed every night. It sounds weird. Not in that way, but I visualized helping this guy build his empire.
Sick.
Like I read the Thomas Edison and Barnes story, and I said, I'm going to be Barnes to Kino. At 16, 17, small town kid in Idaho. My parents, my dad probably never made more than 50, 60 grand a year. Right? So I just manifested, visualized, followed his program, and I learned from Ty, add value. So one day I decide that I'm going to start sharing my journey of fitness and getting ripped. And so I start posting content, and eventually I post a before and after, and I tag Greg, and he's like, and I'm like, yo guys, this program's legit. It changed my life. If anybody, because he was getting a lot of hate at the time. People, he still steroids. Yeah, he still gets hate.
Oh, he's fucking
tons of hate.
Yeah.
And so I was backing him up, right? So I was one of the guys in the comments, like fighting for him. So he looks at my story, and it's still on that post back in 2017. And it's like, dude, sick transformation. Can I repost this? And that's when my life like took a turn for the best.
What happened? Walk me through.
So he took that post, he reposted on his Instagram. He maybe had 200-300K on Instagram at the time.
Yeah.
And I got 300 followers. I went from 100 to 300 or 100 to 400 followers. And then I had, with those 300, I probably had like 2 or 3 dozen people reach out asking me how to transform, how I did it, etc. And so I started learning how to close over the DMs before it was even a thing. Like 2017. So I closed a couple guys, send them Greg's link, and then I tell him, hey bro, closed a couple people for you. and he's like, dude, I can get you an affiliate link.
Oh,
I'm like, what's an affiliate link? And so he sends me an affiliate link, kenobody.com/Bridger.
Yeah.
Which is gangster. I'm like, oh, I got my name on here.
Is that still active?
I'm not sure if it's still active.
It would be sick if you get closest from this, if someone typing it in.
It might be still active. I know he's changed affiliate programs a couple times. I'd have to see.
Yeah.
I still have something live. And so then I close. I remember the first time I make my first sale online. I'm 17 years old. I just gotten home from an exhausting day. Like I was taking, I think it was 17 and a half credits at college. And then I was also bagging groceries for 6 hours in the snow. So I'm literally cars are sliding around. It's like negative 10 degrees, like Celsius. And I'm like trying to dodge these cars that are sliding around the parking lot. And my hands are like numb, getting frostbite on my face. Like not actually, but I'm freezing. So I come back, I'm exhausted. I lay on the couch, open Instagram. And this guy's asking me a couple questions. I send him the link. Like 3 DMs later, he closes. I click my ClickBank account and I made $37.50. And I added up the math, and that was the same amount of money I was making per shift bagging groceries. And I made it in 10-15 minutes on my couch listening to music in the comfort of my home. That's when I was like, in that moment, I was like, I need more Instagram followers. And so I figured out a way to like grow my Instagram, and I grew it from like 300 followers to like 30,000. And using some different strategies, and then I basically became like a Kenobody affiliate, one of the top affiliates. And then I came up with this other idea: what if I built an affiliate army? So I created this program called the Keno Gladiator program, and it was to build an affiliate network for Greg and train him. And so we launched and did pretty well. We did like 100K with the program in like 6 weeks.
Sick.
Which was super sick, and made like my first money. And, I was just this obnoxious, egotistical little kid. 18, just bought a BMW cash, like was ripping around my little city in Idaho.
Sick, though.
But that's how I started making money online. And I think when did you start working with Owen?
2013, I think, as his assistant.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if you would call us working with him. I was his unpaid assistant. You
Yeah.
know? I think it was 2013, yeah.
Apprentice. Yeah, because I remember seeing your stuff, because I saw Greg hang out with Owen, and then I saw Keno. So I kind of watched these guys. And I'd see you in the videos, and I was like, oh, this guy's cool. And I watched your journey when you eventually jumped and did your own thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually you launched into the different niche, which is cool.
2019 was that, yeah.
Yep, 2019. So I've been following you for a while, man. It's cool to see your growth.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's always cool to come full circle,
Totally.
Because I also remember when I met Greg for the first time, it was Miami.
Okay.
Miami 2015, I think. I had a man bun and a beard. I was a little bulkier. And it was at Summit, and RSD Summit, which is where all our best clients are from RSD. And I was there obviously as a speaker, and I knew Greg was there as a speaker too at some point of the week. And he was just sitting in the back of the room on the floor, just like on his phone. And I'm like, oh shit, it's Greg. And I'm like sitting next to him, and he's like, hey, you're Max, right? I'm like, yeah, you Greg, right? And it was such an awkward fucking thing, because I could really feel we both wanted to collab, but nobody wanted to ask.
Yeah.
So at some point he's like, yeah, you want to collab? And I'm like, I'm like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh, you want to collab? Yeah. Let's do it.
That's totally Greg.
Literally like that.
That's totally
cool,
Greg.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just super laid back.
Yeah, exactly. And then we met up the next day on the beach. He shows up with a coffee, of course.
Yeah, of course. Starbucks, right?
Exactly. Starbucks coffee. He shows up, and dude, he's such a fun guy, man. Such a genuine, cool fucking dude. Back then already, that was fucking 2015 or whatnot, or 14 or something like that. Insane. And now he's still fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
Super, super cool to see. So yeah, shout out to him. And so you did that with him, right? And then at some point you must have transitioned into sales coaching. How did that go? How did that work?
So I make this money. I make 65 grand in 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a lot of money, that more money that I've made. And so it was like I built this big community. It was like 300-400 people. And I was like in charge of this group of affiliates. And I didn't know squat about influence, leadership, culture.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing got out of hand. I couldn't do it. I was 18. I didn't know like what was going on. And then the whole thing kind of imploded on itself. Like
how exactly?
So I learned a valuable lesson. I would say one of the number one lessons I learned when I was 18 was be very careful who you let into your inner circle. I let one of my students, who was a top student of mine, a couple years younger, and he went from 0 to like 10K on Instagram followers and like taught him how to make like $8,000 a month as an affiliate and all this stuff. So his like life exploded at 17. And he kept asking me for like connections to Greg. And he's like, and he kept trying to go like through me to Greg. And so eventually I connected him because I was like, oh, no one's gonna sabotage my work. No one's gonna. So he basically went behind my back, started talking a bunch of crap.
Oh,
got in Greg's ear. Greg didn't really listen to him, but like it was enough noise where he started posting socially. Like I got cyberbullied at like 18. He's like, Bridger's a piece of crap. He's scamming everybody.
The guy posted that or Greg?
Greg. Oh, no. Sorry. The guy.
The guy started posting shit about you.
He was my top guy. I have multiple
asshole, man.
He's an asshole, bro. Total asshole. Like psychopath. Like Ty. I didn't learn how to read people. And I learned from Ty how to read people very quickly, and I haven't had an issues since.
There's people like that. They have just a destructive mindset. They come from zero, like, oh, what can I give? What can I find as a win-win? They're just like, well, what can I fuck up?
Literally, what can I take?
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Take her, bro.
Yeah. So what happened then?
So he basically builds a posse of everyone that didn't get results because they didn't apply the program. I mean, it was a course. It wasn't a coaching program. Like it was literally like a 397 course. And then all the people that didn't take action on it, he gathered up. He's like, Bridger's a scammer. All he wants is your money. He doesn't care about you. And he was my top testimonial. I got all these videos. And so
he even said, you even had a testimonial of him saying it's awesome. And then he flipped.
Judas.
They always do that, man. Fucking bipolar, man.
No, he literally was. And unfortunately, he grew up in a really rough childhood. Like he didn't have parents, bounced around, as a kid. Like, so he had a rough.
I love how you're still empathetic to him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he had a rough childhood.
I forgive him. Jesus says,
beautiful, man.
Jesus says like, because one of the disciples comes up to him in Matthew. He's like, Jesus, this guy, screwed me over, blah, blah, blah. How many times should I forgive him? He's done this like 7 times.
Yeah.
Jesus, he's like, he's like, what do you think? Jesus, like 70 times? Like, let him, forgive him 70 times? Like he was trying to be like, like Jesus, like, yeah, I'll forgive him 70 times.
Yeah.
And Jesus is like 7 times 70 times. And he's like, frick. Like, I mean, he didn't actually, but he's like, frick.
Okay.
And so anyway, so that doesn't mean you put yourself in a position to be taken from though. Like just because, somebody takes from you doesn't mean they can take from you again. Like it's about building boundaries. So I learned about boundaries. Like I'm not going to what I learned is that I'm not going to like bridge the gap for that guy to Greg. It goes to me, stays through me. So he sabotaged the whole thing. Cause dude, I saw there's an iconic scene. I'll send it to you. When I went and visited Greg when I was 18, crazy story I can get into later, but I go to Toronto and I record the whole thing and vlog it. And in the video, Greg takes me for a ride in his Lambo that he's like renting for the video. And I'm like, yeah, Greg, so what's the plans for Kino Body? He's like, yeah, we're launching this supplement. We're doing this, da-da-da. I said, I love it. He's like, I was like, Greg, we're going to scale this to a multi-billion-dollar company. Right? I was just 18, just blind ambition. And he's like, he starts laughing. He's like, well, how about we get to 1 billion first? And I said, genius. I said, we'll hit the billion mark and then we'll scale.
Jeez, man.
So he just started laughing. We just started dying laughing. And you probably saw it when you walked in, but I have billion mark, then scale.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Yeah,
all right.
So that's the saying, but yeah. I had a wild ride, man. I learned a lot. And then after that guy like screwed my business, like my relationship with Greg, like we still kept in touch, but he's like, dude, we can't, the PR is getting bad on this thing. Like we got to shut it down. So he shuts it down. I'm like, man, what am I going to do? So I kind of bounced around trying to like do my own thing, trying to launch a program. Like I launched like Instagram Tribe Builder Blueprint, like how to build your Instagram, my own version of it. And dude, to be honest, like I just didn't feel like I was 18, 19. Like I didn't feel like I was this trusted authority to teach business. And so I just couldn't do what all these coaches were telling me. They're like, oh, dude, just like teach people how to make 10K a month. I'm like, dude, I've had 2 10K months. I couldn't do it. So then I eventually just got into high ticket sales. I was like, I'm just going to go work for someone because I want to be a billionaire one day just because I think it sounds fun to master the skill set, not because of the money. So I look it up. 9 out of 10 billionaires started in sales.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
9 out of 10 billionaires. I'm trying to reverse engineer like how to become a billionaire basically, and sales. So then I started exploring sales. I was thinking about getting into door to door. Had these guys approach me in my gym, pest control guys, like, dude, you're going to make a bunch of money this summer. I'm like, well, what do I have to do? Well, you have to knock doors 12 hours a day in the, the heat and sell pest control. I'm like, what? So I don't get a summer anymore? So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So then I found high ticket sales. And that's when I found Cole in 2021. So I joined an offer. Do you know who Todd Brown is, the marketer? No. So he's an OG marketer. Like he coaches Russell Brunson.
No shit.
Yeah, Cole Gordon, like the OG. He worked for Agora Financial.
Sick.
So he's a gangster. So I ended up, through one of my connections and friendships that I built here in Scottsdale, I get connected to this company that places me in this company. And Cole was the account manager back when he started his company.
Sick.
So Cole reviewed one of my calls back in like 2021.
As a closer or setter?
I was a closer, and he was like a trainer for that offer. And so anyways, I got training from Cole, got his 7-figure selling academy, learned high ticket. Then my first month, I made like $8,000.
Nice, man.
And I'm like, okay, finally, we're making some money again. Year and a half later. And so then within a couple months, I'm making $20,000 a month again at 20.
Sick.
And I'm like, I love this high ticket sales thing. So then I just have been doing I did that for like 3 years. And then I reconnected with Greg in Toronto in 2022. And I'm in his backyard and I'm just like punching his bob. You see him punch the bob, just like 60 million views.
60 million views. I saw it. I'm like, fuck.
Dude,
that was like 2 years ago, I think, where he went viral with that one.
Dude, super viral. He should do more of those. He should just put one in his suitcase and just rip around.
I was going to say, like Ty always says, the biggest mistake entrepreneurs do is like they stop doing what works, right? They keep saying that because I'm in Ty's one-on-one mentoring for 100K.
Yeah.
And he's always like, show me your best performing reels. And I'm like, here's whatever, 12 million views. He's like, why aren't you doing that again? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, bro, it fucking worked already. Keep fucking doing it. And I'm like, God damn it, you're right. So yeah, he should do more of that, man. But I know Greg is in his one-on-one as well.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah, he joined, I think, last year in 23.
Yeah.
Ty's been helping him.
Yeah.
And helping him optimize his lifestyle.
Bridger Rogers, what a legend, this guy. Super cool dude. Just met him literally at the Ty Lopez party. Anyways, I'm asking you to do one thing if you're enjoying this podcast, and that is dropping a like, giving us a 5-star rating if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, and dropping a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Max, love your hair. Or Max, you are stupid. Stop the podcast. Whatever flows to your mind, it will help the algorithm. It helps me make more awesome episodes like this and get even more awesome people on the podcast. So much love. Thank you so much. And now back to the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Ty's big on the 3 cities. So Greg's been going to Europe more.
Oh, 3 cities. That's why Greg keeps him being, what is it, Barcelona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot in Barcelona. Shit. London, too. He likes those 2 spots.
No shit.
Yeah. What are your 3 cities?
I was going to say, I should do fucking 3 cities.
You have 3 cities, don't you? Don't you have like Vienna?
But I got to upgrade them, man. Fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, 3 cities. Yeah, like you said, Vienna, Paphos, and Helsinki. Look, Helsinki I love. Okay. Helsinki is fucking beautiful.
Really?
It's a gorgeous city. Quality of living is unreal. You don't have to leave the house. I'm big on never leaving the house if I don't have to.
Same.
Yeah, I have my walking desk treadmill there. I can order all my food. I got a great butcher where I can order all my steak and chicken all day long. It's all local. It's so fucking sick. Obviously, my girlfriend, we right at the sea, super fucking sick. Sauna in the place, everything. So I think I'll keep Helsinki. And then, what are we going to pick? I don't want to do Cyprus as long anymore. I think I'm going to do LA. There's got to be LA's got to kind of be there, you know. LA got to be part of the fucking 3 cities.
It's got to be
as much as people are shitting on it nowadays. It's got to be fucking there. And maybe the third one, I don't know, Marbella. Have you been?
No,
dude, it's insane.
I gotta check it out.
If you're into fitness, you go there, you feel like a fucking fat fuck.
Really?
I was there, yeah. So when I'm in Helsinki, I'm probably one of the like top 5% fit dudes at my gym.
Yeah.
And then you go to Marbella, and you're just like, what the fuck? I'm way smaller than everybody. I'm way fatter than everybody. It's insane. It's like the mecca for fitness influencers.
I've seen that. The guy, like who hang out to that? Rob
Lipset.
Yeah.
I've had him on the podcast.
Oh, sick.
Luke Barnett. the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
All these fucking crazy, insane
Ripped.
shaped dudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the girls are all super mediocre there, but all
they
the
really?
dudes are like super shredded.
Oh,
It's so
that
funny,
sucks,
man.
dude.
It's so funny.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that
But
sucks,
but
dude.
it's really sick. Everybody, it's kind of like imagine you would take Dubai, right,
Okay.
and you mix it with like a regular city. So you got all the baller cars, all the fucking richness. We had like a Koenigsegg boutique store right next to our Airbnb. But at the same time, it has still real fucking culture. It has nature. There's mountains. People are driving all the supercars around the mountains. Super sick, super sick. Anyways, didn't want to get sidetracked. 3 cities. Yeah, I think those 3, like after this tour, Helsinki, Marbella, and motherfucking LA. I think that's it.
That's a solid rotation.
Yeah, it's pretty
Let's see if
fucking
it
sick.
fits into Ty's formula, though.
Yeah, what's the formula?
So the formula is you got to have one place that's rural, which sounds like Helsinki.
yeah, kind
Like
of.
disconnected from like.
Nah, okay, then I need 4 cities then.
Yeah, you
Fuck.
need another
Yeah.
one. Yeah, you got to do.
Okay.
I think 3 personally. I like the Thai formula, the 3. Let me give you the 3, and then I'll tell you how I'm kind of spinning it. So like you got your rural city. This is Ty's farm.
Yeah.
Like disconnected. The crap hits the fan. Like you can live there. It's self-sustaining.
Get a bunch of guns.
Yeah, guns,
And just stay there.
cows, chickens.
I love it, man.
You know, and that's like your rural. It's good for mindset reset,
yeah,
health,
yeah.
family, and then you've got your metropolitan city like LA or Beverly Hills for him, like where you can make a lot of money. There's a lot of wealth concentration. You can make connections.
Yeah.
Like you can make that's like Scottsdale for me.
Yeah, okay.
So Scottsdale, and then you've got your third world country or like your like a mixture. It's like lifestyle, like.
Where
it's-
you're just balling out.
Yeah,
of
you
control.
can just
All right,
like
all
you
right,
have
all right.
fun.
Yeah.
Like it's like more of a lifestyle. So you've got money, you've got like family and like reserved, and then you've got kind of like a blend of the 2, which would maybe be like your Helsinki.
Yeah, I got it now. I know what to
Okay,
do now.
what is it?
Okay. My girlfriend and I, we want to build a house probably next year or then the year after that. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how much I'm in grind mode. Right now, I just love the grind so much. I'm not going
Same.
to fucking build a house. Would be too much of my mental capacity. But we want to build a house either in Austria or Switzerland.
Oh,
That's going to be
badass.
my rural thing. It will be at a lake. It will be ideally an hour and a half away from an airport. I'm going to build it with big land around it because I
Yeah.
want to have chickens. So I
Smart.
can eat straight up fucking perfect eggs every morning. I eat 5 eggs every morning. I get them straight from chickens. I want to have 2 goats because I love goat milk and I love goats.
There you
I
go.
want to have cats, dogs.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to get our babies.
Yeah.
So, well, we're going super into detail here. It's like we want to have our first kid, and it's fine if the first kid is still growing up in the city for the first 2 or 3 years before
Yeah.
it goes to kindergarten. But then build a house and have just like a sick ranch with like cherry trees, veggie garden.
Yeah.
Grow my own weed. Full on gonna grow my own weed, man. I'm gonna call it Max Tornow weed.
There
And
you
then
go.
everybody that comes visit me, they'll get a gift bag. All right. And in that gift bag,
Yeah.
there's honey
Okay.
from Max Tornow Bee Farm.
Okay.
There's gonna be a little bit of weed. So
Okay,
and like
weed.
nicely packaged in a vacuum, you know. I was
Okay.
like, hey, you want some weed? Maybe some chocolate shit, you know, like anything that we just make fucking locally. Like
Locally,
some
yeah.
cake, some cookies that my girlfriend, my wife,
Goat milk,
whatever,
little
but-
jug of
yeah,
goat
yeah,
milk.
yeah,
Yeah.
jug of goat milk or goat fucking yogurt, you know, like
yogurt
raw
sounds
goat
fire.
yogurt and shit. Yeah. And like some dried fruits from the trees or some shit.
Yeah,
I'll just have a
some
bunch of
cherries.
these goodie bags. Every time someone comes, like, oh, by the way, before you leave, take a bag, a goodie bag.
A
you know?
goodie bag,
Yeah,
huh?
like a goodie bag with food from Max Tornow Farm.
Yeah, Torno bag.
Yeah. That's what I call it. Anyways, to interrupt. So those
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah.
be my.
No, I
that's
like
one
it,
of the
dude.
cities, and then the other 2, Marbella.
I like it, dude.
Like
You have a good formula. When do you want to have kids?
probably next year, this year,
Wow.
next year, something like that. I'm
Soon.
34. You know, I'm
Are you?
34. Yeah,
You look great.
Thanks, man. Thanks,
Are you
man.
27, 28?
Dude, yeah, no.
Let's say 34. Wow.
I've been
Got a
28 for
decade on
many
me.
years, man. Yeah.
1990 or 91?
1990.
10 years.
Yeah.
2000.
No shit. Dude, it's because I did the math. I'm like, I want to have 3 kids.
Yeah.
Right? What do you need? Like 2 years per kid if you're
Yeah.
fast?
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
want to have the 3rd kid, I'll be fucking 40. Right? And if I want to have grandkids and my son or daughter, first one, will get kids at the same time, same age that I got it, I'll be 70 by the time my first
grandkid.
Right? And I want to be running around with my grandkids.
Yeah,
and
healthy and
doing stuff, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
totally.
like, fuck it. Because at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna full on just scale up to like 25 million a year and then get babies. But I'm like, nah, why not do it already? So I'm still young.
Yeah,
That's
and
kind of my.
You know what's interesting? Ty talked about this, the mastermind. He said, like, if you look at the most successful business people, like billionaires, they had kids like before they were 30. Like
No
all of them.
shit.
Yeah, like 22 to like 30.
Wow.
Because I think it creates like responsibility, like leadership.
Oh,
Like it,
all right.
like it unlocks like a primal fucking like, I don't know. It unlocks like a primal gene something.
Yeah, you're not just here to make some money and fuck off.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, no, we got to build an empire.
You got to build an empire, like the Rockefeller
Fucking love
mindset.
that,
Yeah,
man.
I want to have kids young, dude. If
Dude,
I had
do
the,
it,
if I had the
man.
right girl, I'd be popping them out right now.
Yeah,
I'd
let's
be ready to go, dude. I'm ready to go.
I keep telling my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm gonna put a lot of babies in. Yeah, and she loves it. She's like, yo, let's go. You know?
Hey, that's rare nowadays, dude.
Yeah.
Chicks, not a lot of chicks want kids.
But yeah, fuck them. But also maybe because they're too young. You know,
I
maybe
have
they don't
noticed
have
that.
that
It's
yet.
weird. It's like once a girl's hit a certain age, almost every girl wants a kid. It's in their biology. At a certain age,
yeah.
it unlocks. I don't think there's very many women that like truly don't want to raise kids.
Yeah. If they really do, it's something weird.
Yeah, there's
What the hell
something
is
that's
going
like
on?
they haven't healed through some trauma.
Yeah, probably
For sure.
And you know, like this. Here's the crazy thing: like, you never know if you can even get kids.
You don't
I
know
don't
that.
know. I've never done a fertility test of my
Totally.
stuff. You know. So I don't know. But you know, here's the thing: because my girlfriend and I, we talk about everything. That's why she's my girlfriend of 8 years already. And
8 years?
8 years. Yeah.
Did you meet her during the RSD days?
Yeah. 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet her?
On Tinder.
No way.
Yeah.
Tinder was pretty good back in the day.
It was pretty. It was.
Dude, I got 10,000 matches when I worked with Greg.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine
He
that.
hacked my profile. He's like, dude, do this, do this, do this. All shirtless
You know
pics.
why he did that? Because I hacked his. When we hung out in Miami, he's like, bro, Tinder doesn't work for me. I'm like, what? Dude, you have a picture? And he's like, yeah, all the girls think I'm fake. I'm like, they think it's just a model profile. And I'm like, bro, here's how to write. Here's what to write, you know?
Really?
And that night, he met a girl, right? He's like, bro, what do I do? She's meeting me. And I just described exactly what he needs to do.
What was the advice? The elements of the advice?
I mean, so first of all, he's very, very good looking and very, very funny, and that's kind of like his big. That was, I don't know anymore how it is now, but I'm sure he got much better. But that was his biggest disadvantage because girls would be like, "This is too good to be true."
Yeah.
This insane looking dude with insane physique and he's funny. There's got to be some fucking catfish shit. There's got to be weird.
he's gotta be fat,
Exactly.
ugly, weird. Yeah.
So what I taught him is how to be relatable. I was like, hey, just write this, just, be cool, be empathetic. And then all of a sudden, girls are like, oh, that's the missing piece. Now I'm not only extremely attracted to this funny, witty, extremely good looking guy, but I'm also relating to him. And that's where it just became super fun.
Dude, I've had that issue too as I've scaled.
Yeah?
Because before I didn't have the authority.
Yeah.
So I like had to get used to adding authority to my page, but now I had too much. And Greg was like, you need to make it more relatable.
Boom.
Have you heard of the influence pyramid?
No.
So it starts with authority. Like if people don't look at you an authority figure online, like they're not going to listen to you. Or same with dating, authority. But then the next level, a lot of people skip this second step is relatability, and you hit it right on the head. So it's relatability, things they can relate to about you, so that you're like it balances out the authority.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which is really hard to crack, but when you do, you go crazy viral, or you get crazy like results on Tinder. It's intrigue.
Oh, all right.
And you could probably think about the times when you had crazy profiles. Like I put some intriguing shit. Like I don't like something doesn't add up. Like they have to like it's like
They
open
wanna know more.
loops. They want to know more. Yeah, I got big into dating in 2021 when I started making some money closing deals.
You were how old?
20.
Okay.
It's 20. And so I'm closing these high ticket deals and I'm spending like 3-4 hours a night on dating apps. And I'm like, dude, I did the math. I'm like, I'm leaving like 8-10 grand a month on the table. If I would have spent 3-4 grand or 3-4 hours a day closing. And so my first coach, Craig Ballantyne, you know Craig? So he taught me like, you got to figure out how much your time's worth and then outsource everything else.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got to outsource this. So I hire some VAs in the Philippines and I train them on my type. I did like a Loom video and show them, I don't like this. I like this. I train them. I built a Slack channel and I logged them into my Tinder and I built a dating funnel. I built a literal dating funnel right when it was starting to pop off with these guys, endless options.
Yeah.
They're off. So I was like right as they were launching that and before. And so I ended up like automating this entire dating system and I would get automated dates, 2-3 dates a week with these VAs, messaging them, setting the dates. And I turned it into a business, like a small business.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I turned into a business, charged like 12 grand for like 90 days for like guaranteed 10 to 12 like model
That's
quality
amazing,
dates.
man.
Yeah, it was fire at 20 and then 21. And then funny enough, I went to Europe for 7 weeks, partied, dated all these chicks in all these different countries. And I kind of fell away from my faith a little bit. And then I was like, started getting lost. I'm on top of this villa in Spain, Palma Mallorca. And I've got making all this money. I'm dating all these chicks. And I stopped my relationship with God. Stopped praying. Stopped reading the Bible. Stopped staying connected to my purpose. And like, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what's the purpose of all this? And so I'm just kind of lost. And so I travel back from Europe and I land and I go to Funnel Hacking Live 2021. And so I'm attending this event and I'm like kind of searching for answers, thinking about blowing up this dating offer. And then all of a sudden, Garrett J. White comes out and he starts speaking about his story, his testimony on how he was chasing the money, chasing the chicks, chasing the status. And he just like kept going to the next level and the next level. And the next level was never enough, never filled him up. It was just constantly leaving him hungry and hungry and hungry. And so eventually he like just encountered the Lord.
Damn.
And shared his testimony. And dude, when he started talking about that, bro, I started bawling. Like I just started crying, uncontrollably crying. And I just like felt sad. It was almost like I had like neglected like a girl that I loved. It was like I literally just turned my back and like left or a best friend. And cause that's what my relationship with God had been. And so like in that moment, like I started bawling. And then I literally heard like an audible in my own head. I heard this audible voice of God. And it said, Bridger, if you keep living your life the way you're going to live it, here's what your life's going to look like. And then boom, 40,000 images or whatever. It was just like, blah, 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 blah. And it literally just basically expanded the path that I was on where I'd be in like a decade, 2 decades. I had this massive house in Miami, like this modern, like concrete house, all the supercars, the fame, all the hot chicks. I was hungover from partying. I was empty and I'm like 30, 35 and I have no one in my life that truly cares about me. All takers. They're all just take. Like I take from you, you take from, it's just taking. And I'm just empty and depressed and like all the genuine people in my life that believed in me, that were like good people, just detached. And I was just like miserable. And then it was like, and then it stopped. The images stopped. If you stop and you follow me, here's what your life can look like. And then boom, it was the reverse opposite. Like it was the most incredible, blissful, peaceful, fulfilling, loving future. I was on this massive farm, this beautiful house. I had like 8 kids, 6 kids, beautiful wife. I had like all the success in business. I had literally thousands of people that their lives had been so positively impacted by me. Like it was like my life was fulfilling. I'd built a legacy. I was close with God, and I just broke, dude. And just like I realized I was on the wrong path.
Damn.
And I shut down the business. I was like, I got to turn my life around. So I turned off the dating automation business, kind of like cut off, everything, and just like moved back in with my parents, like and figured out my life again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy because you were turning your back on money, on income, on a quote unquote on an income that was already rolling.
Yeah.
You move back to your parents, which most people would consider a step back.
Yeah.
They would consider it a loss. Like, oh, look at me. I went from this baller villa in Spain to move back to my fucking parents. But you didn't make it sound like that. You made it sound like a next step. You made it sound like almost like a fucking win. Because, spiritually, it was a win.
It was a win. And
that really requires a lot of spiritual strength, emotional strength, character strength to fucking turn your back on that and say, fuck it. Yeah. It's good money. It's bringing me to a pretty fucking cool sounding future. Yeah. But it's not the way I want it to do.
Yeah.
I want it differently. And I love that idea because as a 34-year-old, I've had these two opposing ideas for many, many years of like, I really love my girlfriend. I love her to death. Most amazing woman in my life. I want to be with her. I want to have kids. I want a family. I want to be with her every single day. Every single day. But also, I want to ball and have all these other girls and stuff like that. And it's almost like these two wolves fighting in your mind.
So true.
And the older I get and the more I've been really dwelling on that, the more I'm like, I've done all the traveling and the girls and all that shit. And it's cool, no doubt. And I did it already, which is also a big, important point for me. Knowing that I did do it, right? And I think I'm really ready to commit to this whole family thing. And the fun thing too is, God bless my girlfriend, because she's like, yo, we can travel with our kids. Fuck it. You know what I mean? She's like, what do you mean? Like, because in my head, I'm a very black white thinking person. So in my head, I'm like, once the kid is here, done. You know, no travel.
We're not leaving.
Exactly. And she's like, hey, like, let's fucking take our kids with us.
Homeschool them. I was homeschooled,
exactly. Take them, fucking travel around the world. Let's take them to Tokyo. Let's take them
best
to Africa.
education
Like,
there is.
Yeah. Like what a fucking sick childhood. I mean, in your first 6 years of your life, you go to Africa, you pet elephants, you see fucking Tokyo and all that shit. Yeah. Plus, I'm like making money. You know, we're flying everywhere, private or business or first class. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. You know. And on the way, you teach your kids about, listen, this is why you get to pet elephants. This is why you get to sit in fucking first class and play on your Game Boy while most people are sitting on a fucking coach, you know? This is why, because your daddy works really hard, because your dad believes in this, because your dad learned here, boom, boom, boom. You know, I actually think young kids are smarter than you think.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you can communicate concepts in a simple manner, they'll fucking get it already. The value of hard work, the value of prolonged gratification, the value of working, of leadership, and all these things.
Yeah.
Again, like that's why I love my girlfriend so much, because she puts things into perspective. I'm just such an extreme person. I'm like everything or nothing, and she's like, hey, listen, you can do it like this. Don't worry. And that's really fucking cool to hear that about your story. So you did all the sales, and then you said, and you shut that business down. You moved back, and then you said, "Fuck it, let me teach sales." Was that the next step?
So I moved back in. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? I'd fully surrendered my life to God. Like, I don't care what you want me to do, God. I'll go broke. I'll do whatever. Like, I was all in. On following Jesus.
Sick.
All in. And so I was like praying, like, man, should I become a pastor?
Wow.
I was thinking about being a pastor, dude.
Wow,
I was like, I believe in this message so much. I'm ready to dedicate my life to it. And I prayed. I talked to some pastors, and then I realized I felt God telling me, like, no. I gave you these gifts to use, and you can still reach people with these gifts and do what you love. I'm like, yes, thank you, God.
Man,
yeah. So then I went back, and I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to start closing again. So I got another offer a couple months later after I kind of went through a little spiritual journey, and I get back on an offer beginning of 2022 because it was end of 2021 when this was taking place. So 2022, I get on this offer, and I watched this offer go from, I was one of the first closers, $100K a month to 4 million a month, $1 million a week. And so I saw the team get to like 20, 30 closers, like 60 setters. And,
what offer is that? What
it was
niche?
Airbnb, like Brian Page, B&B formula.
Sick. Okay.
And he was just printing.
Yeah.
And so the guy that I had on my podcast, Caleb, he was running the sales team for that. So I got to learn how to build a sales team, and I wasn't just a closer. I was observing leadership and all this stuff. And it was super cool. So I saw that ride. And so at the time I was making 20, 30 grand a month on this offer, just cranking. And I'm traveling, like, you know, I started traveling a little bit again in the States, moved to Nashville for 3 months. So then I'm punching this Bob at Greg's place and I'm closing this deal. I'm like, I walk in. I'm like, yeah, Greg, I just closed this 10K deal. He's like, what? For who? I was like, yeah, this guy just made $1,000. He's like, what? He's like, dude, why don't you just come close for me, bro? I'll pay you like 20, 30%. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm serious. So we map it all out. We call up Cole, like, how should we do the offer? Cole kind of coaches us, and we launch. We do $250,000 in a week.
Wow.
140 cash collected, but I closed like 13 guys at 16K on this offer.
Sick.
And I made like 50K in commissions. And on top, I launched another offer, so I make like 50K in a week. I got like 6 figures in the bank, and I buy this Rolex.
Nice one. Datejust?
Yeah, Datejust. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love it, man.
So got my first Rolex. I always wanted one of these. So.
White gold Jubilee band.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Very beautiful watch.
You got is it the Hulk?
I got the Hulk right now. Yes, sir.
Hulk's
yes,
sick.
sir. I got a Datejust as well, but I got the retarded one without the thingies. You know,
the flute bezel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And mine is gold. Mine is yellow gold.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, I love this one. It's very, very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's cool because you can, with this one, I can dress it up, dress it down.
Exactly.
Like I can do whatever I need
Works
to
for
with
anything.
it.
Yeah.
So I only have one, but you know, I like it.
So far.
Only one.
I know you Americans are not that big on the watches. You're more like houses and cars. But in Europe, everybody just watch.
Yeah, because you guys make them over there, like in
true.
like Switzerland, right? You guys love your watches, and dude, you guys have these like really expensive quality watches that I've never heard of.
Oh yeah,
like what's the ones like V? It's like Vasco, you know, or something like that.
I didn't even know that.
But like you guys have, you know, watchmaking capital of the world is right near where you're from.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you do that. Yeah. You make a ton of money.
Make a ton of money, and then Greg's like, "Come and launch this thing." So I launch it, and then we literally threw up a type form on Greg's story, and so we had 150 leads, and I got on 20 calls, closed 13, and then we got like 100 leads that like couldn't afford the 16K package.
The 16K was a fitness offer
Mastermind.
for Greg.
Yeah, high-end fitness mastermind for Greg, 6 months, some meetups, workouts.
Sick.
And then I'm like, Greg, why don't we launch a 5K offer to all these guys who can't afford the 16K? And I'll build a sales team and we'll do this. And so we launch it. I build the sales team, and within like 2 months, we're doing like 380,000 a month.
Nice.
Like 400 grand a month. So then we do that for about a year. I did like 3.3 million. And then I always wanted to hit the billion mark and scale. And so Greg's like, dude, I just want to make 5-6 million a year, you know, chill on a yacht with my Kino Mojo and some chicks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I like building businesses. So we just had a misalignment of vision and values. And so we parted ways last year, about a year ago. And then I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I reflected on what I love most about building that company. And it came back to coaching and leading and training salespeople. I was like, I love doing this because I saw guys, like I took a guy who was like playing video games every day, college dropout, partying, drugs, to like, hey, dude, like if you like turn your life around, like I can help you like change your life. And he committed, and within 2 months, he's making 20 grand a month.
Sick.
And I was like, and it changed his life. And now he lives in Colombia, lives this cool life, still has the skill set, closes for someone else now. And so I was like, dude, I love this. Like this is what people need. This is what Gen Z needs. And so then I just launched a men's coaching program, and everyone that I signed on, I found that like they were missing a purpose and a way to fulfill their purpose in their job or their career and make money doing it. And so I invented this system that I think is very important for young people to understand, which is, what's your purpose? Like, why did God put you here? And it's very easy to find. All you got to do is ask yourself, what's the biggest transformation that you've personally gone through? Okay, you write that down. Then the second pillar, or the second part, is the passion. What do you love to learn about that you could spend all day geeking out about, talking about, learning about, like could not shut up about? Write all them down. Okay, now this one's important, which is your profit. How much do you want to make? How much do you need to make? Because not always do they all three align. You have to find the balance between the three. But if you find what like really jazzes you up, like with the passion, you find something that changes people's lives, and there's a market, people are willing to pay for that. That's the freaking money zone. That's the money. If you can live in there, dude, you'll never have to work a day in your life. You'll work, but it doesn't feel like it's like your purpose. It's your calling. So I lined those three, and then I launched this program about a year ago. And so we've got 60, 70, probably 80 students at this point. So, we're doing pretty well. We're scaling up some ads and stuff, but
nice.
But I feel like I've really cracked the code on the avatar and the offer. And then now I'm scaling like all the things that I learned from like Cole and stuff.
Sick, man.
So that's what I'm doing now. And, I see it expanding though to other areas than just making money. Cause for me, it's a personal development company.
Yeah.
But it's like, how can I make the biggest impact? And for me, it's like young people don't know how to make money in this changing economy. We got AI. We got
it's overwhelming.
College doesn't work. I don't think college works.
Oh, fuck no.
It doesn't work. I mean, unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, scientist, it's a
which
waste.
is cool too.
Which is cool
by all means.
Yeah, go for it. But do you want to spend? And this is one of my best performing ads. It's like, if you want to earn a top 1% income without going to college for a decade and spending $500,000 on a college degree, then listen up. And I just go into it like, here's my 2022, my 2023 tax returns.
Sick.
And I show them, and then I'm like, I've stumbled across this highly lucrative way to make money online, and all you need is a Wi-Fi connection, Zoom, and talk to people.
Beautiful.
Help them achieve their dreams. So now Cole's kind of mentoring me, help me scale it up. I love it, dude. It's a lot of fun.
Dude. Bridger, man, I feel a lot of passion. I feel a lot of goodwill. I feel a lot of love for what you do. And I think ultimately that was the reason why I wanted to talk to you as well, because you just came up to me at Ty's party and you had such good energy. And you know what? Here's how I pinpoint it now. Now I know.
Okay.
Yours was the only one that was not taking. Your energy was like, give. What's up? Everybody there's like, dirt, take. Who can I take from? And yours was like, what's up? Give. And I'm like, question mark. And you're like, give. Phone number. I'm like, okay. And then you kept hitting me up, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, let's do it. He's cool, And I'm very happy now, having talked to you over the past hour or so. That's been really confirmed, man. I think you're gonna fucking crush, no doubt about that. You have the right spiritual journey as a background. You have the right fucking character traits. So by all fucking means, you're gonna fucking crush.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
For people watching this and listening, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because we have to wrap up. But we are going to continue our conversation on your podcast.
Totally. So
we're going to link that in the description below, folks. If you like the vibes of Bridger and me talking right now, go check out his podcast episode right away. Check that out. And also, where can people find you?
Yeah, totally. So you can find me Bridger_Rogers on Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube. Just type in Bridger Rogers. You'll find plenty of YouTube content. I put content out there all the time on what I'm doing, helping people live the freedom closer lifestyle. So they don't have, a lot of people nowadays, they have paycheck dependence syndrome. They're slaves to a paycheck. PDS.
I like that. I'm going to steal that.
PDS.
We're going to cut that out and I'm going to steal that. Do you have next 2 weeks later ads? Do you have PDS? I call it paycheck dependent syndrome.
Hey, just tag me in the comments.
Yeah.
I learned that one from Cole's guy. I was with Cole's top guy. I don't know if you know Mitchell. Have you met Mitchell?
Dude, I love Mitchell, man.
Okay, good.
I fucking love him.
Okay, so I was just with him the other day, and he showed me his ad. I'm like, frick, I need something like that. He uses a little tag, and he helped me come up with that. But that's fire. So
good shit.
Thanks, bro.
Follow his stuff. We're gonna link it all in the description below. Thanks for being on the podcast, man.
Dude, thanks for having me, bro.
Boom.
Pleasure.
By the way, real quick, Bridger Rogers is inspiring a lot of people. His story is certainly freaking insane, and he's making a lot of money even though he's very, very young. In fact, he's not the only one to do that. In fact, we've worked with over 3,000 people in the past all the way to now that we've helped start, scale, and automate their own online coaching businesses. And I know you have a skill, a hobby, an expertise, a passion within you that you want to use to monetize and also build your own freedom business so you can travel the world like I do, like Bridgers does, and like you've seen so many of my beautiful podcast guests. And the way to do that is with us. We can literally help you with that. Actually, there is a free call option for you. There's a link down in the description below that brings you to that call where you can hop on a call with us for free. We can tell you what exact skill, hobby, expertise, or passion you can use to make your first $5,000, $25,000 a month. We can also tell you how to get your first clients, how to build your brand, how to automate, all that jazz. Literally, we've worked with, like I said, over 3,000 people. We have so many testimonials at this point. This is all I do every single day. I've been doing this for the last 5-6 years already. And of course, I built 2 multiple 7-figure coaching businesses. Myself, in fact, we cracked 8 figures with this coaching business last year. Anyways, hop on a call. Link is down below. If the link still lets you through, it means we still have a spot open. If you cannot find the link, it's maxtornow.com/call. Hop on a call with us and talk soon. GG. Thanks for checking out the podcast.